What makes a great person, and how can you become better and achieve the success you aspire to? Much of what we talk about today, manifestation, motivation, mindset, courage, authenticity, faith, and so on, has its roots in ancient times. The great Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Seneca spent much of their time reflecting on this and left us clear rules for how to do it. In this series of 3 videos, I'll cover the Stoic rules for life that cover control, character, and conclude with perspective. In total, about 50 short and sweet rules that can have a profound effect on the quality of your life. Their wisdom goes deep, and today I'll share 20 Stoic rules for life that fall under the heading of character. Last time I shared 15 rules under the heading of control, so remember to check that out if you haven't already. But why Stoic philosophy? Well, since my early beginnings in the personal development space 4 or 5 years ago, I realised that philosophy is the bedrock on which character is based, and often a mismatched philosophy leads to mismatched results, but we're often unconscious of these drives. In my life, for example, when I get into the zone and I'm working on something that really lights me up, sometimes like these videos, time becomes illusory. I tend to get the most like this when I'm in creative mode and can suddenly find myself bleary-eyed long after midnight working on something really interesting instead of turning in for a good night's sleep. I say health is my number one value, but there's something inside me that manages to override this and just push through. There's a mismatch between my perception or desire and my underlying philosophy, so I end up compromising my health. So, our philosophy drives our real values, and I'll actually speak more about this in a future video. But for now, let's look at the Stoics' 20 character-related philosophies and rules to help you live the life of your dreams. Epictetus says, if you want to be beautiful, make beautiful choices. If you want to be excellent, make excellent choices and make them habitually, day in and day out, because they add up. James Clear has an excellent book called Atomic Habits, and I'll link to it below. And remember, 1% better each day means more than 37% better after 1 year.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I've never been a morning person and I don't subscribe to the 5 AM club, but I do know that starting the day in the right frame of mind really affects how the day plays out. So own the time between waking up and getting on with work like your life depends on it, because it does. You want to have a good day? Have a good morning. You want to have a good life? Have a good day. And it all comes back to how you start the day. There's a great passage from Marcus Aurelius where he's arguing with himself about getting up out of bed in the morning. And he says, are you meant to huddle under the covers and stay warm? No. Get to work. Do what you gotta do. Do what you were put here on this earth to do, and do it early. Seneca's rule was this: put the day up for review. Ask yourself, what could I have done better? Where did I fall short? Who do I want to be? Was I being that person? So, every day, the requirement is to put your day up for review. Evaluate yourself, interrogate yourself. That's how you get better. I'm a great believer in journaling at the end of the day, and doing this autopsy, as I refer to it, really helps. If you'd like to hear more about this process, comment below. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius is simply the journal of the most powerful man in the world. It's not banal notes about what he had for breakfast and how he worked out, but it's a deeper conversation with himself about how to be better, how to do better, how to become better, how to fight to be the person that philosophy wants him to be. Spending some time in the morning with a journal and having a conversation with yourself and doing an evening journal too really helps with this. Seneca talks about putting the day up for review, but the point is to have a conversation with yourself and put it down on the page. Instead of emotionally dumping on someone, dump it in your journal and process it. You'll become a better human and the people around you will notice. It doesn't matter what you use: paper, a phone, your computer, a bespoke app. Just spend a few minutes and get it done. If you'd like me to talk about journaling more, just comment below. At the end of the day, I reserve a space in my evening journal for just this. I call it finding the magic in the day. One of the beautiful things in meditations is all the observations Marcus makes about nature. The flecks of foam on a boar's mouth, the way olives fall from a tree, the way wheat bends low under its own weight, the furrowed brow of the lion, the way that bread cracks open in the oven. Life can be dark and life can be frustrating, and it can break your heart. So if you focus on the good in finding beauty everywhere and seeing with the poet's eye, you'll find beauty everywhere. You'll always have something that makes you smile. Now that's a good way to fall asleep. You have got to see the good in people. That's important in life. If you don't do this, you're going to end up miserable and unhappy. Marcus Aurelius famously tried to get the most out of people. He tried to see the good in them. He knew, yes, there's a certain amount of bad people out there, but he always tried to find something good in everyone he was dealing with. Try journaling in the evening about the positive in the people you met today and reflect on your day to see how your feelings shift. You never know what the other person is going through, so every situation is an opportunity for kindness. Kindness is the key. It's what moves us forward. Never pass up an opportunity to be kind, to care, to be compassionate, to listen, to appreciate what someone is going through. You could just be the change they need to hear in the world right now. Comparing yourself to other people is focusing on something you don't control. Remember my earlier rules about control? Comparing never makes you feel good. It either makes you feel egotistical or makes you feel down. So only focus on what you do. Don't compare yourself to other people. Roosevelt famously says that comparison is the thief of joy, and he's right. Hold yourself to your own high standards. So when you're succeeding, you focus on how much further you have to go, and when you're failing, you ask yourself, did I live up to my own standards? That's what matters. Chrysippus asks, why would I become a philosopher if I'm just going to be like everyone else? If I'm going to follow the mob? No, I think for myself, it's the hardest thing in the world. As Mark Twain says, whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, pause and reflect. It's not that they're always wrong, sometimes they are, but you want to make sure you're choosing this for yourself, not just because everyone else is. The Stoics are not contrarians, but they think independently, and so must you. If the herd is excited about it, or picking on someone, or caught up in a fad, a passion, or a trend, then it's a good sign that you should step back, think for yourself, and do what actually is right, not just what everyone else is doing. It's not easy, but your life will thank you for it. We've all heard that we're the sum of the 5 people closest to us, so associate with people who make you better. We are a reflection of our surroundings. Spend time with people who make you better. You can't change your friends, but you can change your friends. Success should be giving your best and making an impact. Really trying, really pushing yourself. What other people say or do is irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius says that we love ourselves, but for some reason we care about other people's opinions more than our own. You have to define what success means to you, not what everyone else says or what everyone else is doing. Set your own standards for success. You'll be much more likely to attain them. Did you know that Marcus Aurelius didn't want to be an emperor? In Meditations, he gives himself this rule: never be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. You might be a reluctant football coach, manager, lawyer, or job seeker. You may even like your job, but you could do without 1 or 2 of its incumbent responsibilities. But where does complaining get you? Nowhere, other than a negative state of mind. And as we know from the law of attraction, like attracts like. And you can check out my other videos on that. Complaints solve nothing. Focus on what you're going to do, focus on the good in the situation, and don't allow yourself to complain. Marcus Aurelius says you're like a soldier storming the wall. If you have to reach up and have a comrade help you out, so what? So what? So don't be afraid to ask for help. Asking for help isn't giving up. It's actually refusing to give up and finding a way forward. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Some people are going to be awful, and some people are going to do bad things. That's just a fact of life. But how do you get even? Well, that's not the real question. It might feel like it in the heat of the moment, but as I say, and many others more wise than me, don't react on the emotion. Pause, count to 5, and consider your response. Marcus Aurelius says the best revenge is to not be like that. Ask yourself, what does a good person look like? To be a good person, you need to be the opposite of those people. The best way to be a scoundrel is simply to not be like one. Do one thing every day that scares you. As the cliche goes, we become better for what we struggle with. Just as it is when you lift weights to get stronger, you lift heavier ones. Seek out challenges, tackle hard things, push yourself. If you want to write a mighty book, Ralph Ellison says, choose a mighty theme. Challenge yourself. That's how you get better. Don't run away from challenges. Welcome challenges. If you want to move the needle of your life forward, find the things that will do this. They will be challenging, but they will make you grow, and do them first. What is the path to wisdom? Seneca says it's finding one thing every day. One quote, one story, one conversation, one book, one insight, one idea, so that you get better. But the point is, you've got to find something that delivers value for you every day. You've got to seek it out. One thing that makes you better every day. That's the path that leads to wisdom. I hope these rules are making you wiser, and remember to like the video if they are. Seneca says, choose yourself a Cato. Focus on someone who's going to make you better. Find some heroes and study them. Learn from them. Learn what to do, what not to do. Try the Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, or pick your own. Whose lives are you studying, and what are you learning? Comment below. These are the 4 virtues of Stoicism: courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom. There is no situation so good, so bad, so strange, so ordinary that it does not demand these 4 virtues from us. Act always with courage. Act always with moderation. Act always in light of fairness and justice and honesty. And of course, you need the wisdom to know how and when to do those 3 other things. Those are the 4 virtues of Stoicism that guide our actions. Arrogance always makes things worse. Ego never makes things better. Be humble, be open-minded, be willing to learn. Don't be above or beneath anything. Be who you are. Be confident, of course, but believe in yourself because there's evidence to support this, not because you think you're better than everyone else. This may be the most important rule in all of Stoicism and was given to us by Epictetus. You don't talk about your philosophy, you embody it. Marcus Aurelius also reminds us to waste no time arguing about what a good man is, just be one. All of the Stoic rules for life are not intended solely for academic study, but to be embodied and live in your daily life. They're simple, but they're not easy. It can be hard to apply them, but every day, as I said before, you want to make a little bit of progress, get a little bit better, and live in these ideas. That's the real purpose of Stoic philosophy and these rules for your life. So click the like button if you learned anything today. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Remember to comment below and let me know which rule you found the most useful. And watch this video next. Dream, dare, rise. That's Edward, signing out for another week. Peace.